I think I'm ready to say hi now. Hello. Hello. Good evening. And good night. Who said that? Oh my God. Am I showing my age? Hello? Who said, oh my God, I love Google so much. Who said hello, good evening, and good night? Truman Burbank, played by Jim Carrey in the 1998 film The Truman Show. That's where it's from. Wow. I didn't even know that that's what I was talking about. See, I don't even understand my own references, which is not news. It's not new news to me, to be quite honest with you. Well done, Richie. Richie is on a 5-stream streak. Yay. Hello, Gav. Hi, Rennie. Hi, Steve. How are you all doing? I'm so sorry that I couldn't do Trans Mondays yesterday. I'm very preoccupied with my studying. And I know that you guys don't mind. I know that you guys understand. And that's why I'm enjoying the fact that we have the demo drop, because there's so many awesome things that I'm learning. You do mind, Richie? Okay. Aw, did you miss me, Richie? Thank you. Richie's my internet husband now. Yeah. Yeah, so hi Mark. Hi. Mark, I actually spoke to you about you to my professor earlier. I got your vinyls out to show it. Vinyls? I didn't say that. Don't you ever tell anyone I said vinyls. I said vinyl. Your amazing tracks that you've sent me. I've not opened them yet. What I'm planning on doing is like a little video to promote them for you. So I have them to one side at the moment so that I can do that and get a little video and say some nice things about you, because I think you're awesome. Yes, the reason why I was talking about you to my professor was because I mentioned that we do the demo drop. I mentioned how important it is to me to give you guys a platform. And hi, Grabby. You missed me, so you had to do 2.5 hour stream. Good, I'm glad. I wish that we could still host on Twitch, because then I would have hosted you. Got a few more people listening. Richie, can you give Grabby a shout out, please? Can everyone go and follow Grabby, please? Yeah, you know how I feel about you, Mark. You know how I feel about a lot of you guys who are sending in your music week in, week out, and how much I just want to fuck you. Like, just fucking believe in yourselves. Please. Please believe. Please believe in your ability to make music. And also remember that my opinion is always just my opinion on this show, and everyone's opinions in the chat are just their opinions. This is something that I think I've got better at through doing this show. I've got better at coming away from my own preconceptions of what music should sound like. And, you know, and kind of like my own, because I find it really helpful, because I think that I judge myself a lot more. I judge my music very, very harshly as well. And I think as long as we keep that in check, it's a good thing. It can be a useful thing. But I also think that when it's said in the wrong way or at the wrong time, it can also hinder someone's motivation. And so what I've always strived to do with this show is try and motivate you. I'm thinking at some point when I have the time after I've done my masters, I'm thinking of changing the the setup of the demo drop a little bit. I want to try and see if I can put in a bit more time before doing the show to do a bit of research on certain topics, because I often find that I am dragging myself away from doing us listening to your music, and kind of like getting sidetracked with half going into something of interest that's of interest, like a plugin, a concept, some, philosophical viewpoint on music production. So I want to be able to kind of do that, but in a more organized kind of a way. So I'm thinking about doing almost maybe like a PowerPoint presentation or something. I think I've been very inspired by my professor in my masters at uni, and I get a lot out of listening to the lectures where he's talking on a subject he knows a lot about, and giving some references, some links and stuff, so that afterwards I can go and do some intense hyper focus into the areas that he's talking about. I just think that it would be even more of use to you guys, and also ultimately myself as well. Mark says, I almost gave up on music a few years ago, as you know. Yeah. And I think I just realized that I wasn't making music for me anymore, and I was trying to please labels and not. I just don't care so much, and I just go with the flow. But I think if it wasn't for this show and you, Amber, I would have probably packed it all in. Wow. You did it, mate. But remember what I just said there about, saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. You can also say the right thing at the right time. And I think most of us, we just need that bit of reassurance, don't we? We just need a bit of one in our corner. And I do think that that's what this show provides. And well, I know it does. But that's not. I mean, obviously, I'm hosting the show or whatever, but you guys are making this work. It's a community project. And again, part of being a music producer in our kind of in the dance kind of thing, or what they call it uni, in the box production, you're very alone a lot of the time. A lot of artists are quite alone when they're doing music production, and it can be a bit of a lonely process, and sometimes just bouncing ideas off other people. I take it for granted. I live with a musical genius, and I also am going to a university with numerous musical genii. Genie, all of us. And it's really helpful to talk about the things that you go through, because I've always said that learning to make music and following this path of music production is a parallel journey with self discovery and self belief. It's the same thing. But I think also, how can you truly know yourself when you're just looking at yourself in that kind of like direct way? I don't think it can be done like that. I think you have to kind of distract yourself with a carrot on a stick, and that carrot on the stick to self-awareness and self-understanding for musicians or for artists is music. So you use music is the catalyst. Like, music is like the carrot on the stick, and then through virtue of doing music and coming up against challenges and overcoming those challenges, and all of that, it tells you more of your own story. Gav saying. That's why I like working with someone in the studio. Although sometimes you can just end up talking and not making much progress. But yeah, Gav, I agree. I've had studio sessions like that where you can end up talking and not making much progress. But what do you mean by not making much progress? If it's becoming a thing, then you could set alarms. Sometimes it's just nice for you to have a friend in the studio as well. I'd say it can go one of two ways, can't it? You can either have someone in the studio who is helping you to get stuff done, or you can have someone who you just end up talking to loads. But that in itself, I found sometimes I've wanted to have that procrastination of just talking. But again, it's Dead Mouse says it in a really good way. Dead Mouse says, he said about on the subject of spending a lot of time doing stuff that you might think on the surface level doesn't come to anything. It's not time wasted, it's time experienced. Yeah. Maju Xu says, just got into DJ streaming. I'm finding that getting viewers is not easy. From your experience, is it a grind? Hello, welcome, darling. Yeah, definitely. I think the number one thing that I have told people, my students, to do in terms of when they start live streaming as a DJ or in any context is come on, what's the word? Consistency. Have a set timetable. Consistency. Your people need to know when you're going to be online, and you need to have that system, and then that's how you'll build momentum and viewers. Yes, it is. Competing in Twitch raid trains is a good option. Yes, good idea, Dutch Delinquent. Get yourself in a team, could be really helpful. Also, guys, can you make sure you go and follow Maju? I'll give you a follow now. Do you know why I'm going to give you a follow? Because you asked a really good question, and you didn't just come in here going, can you all follow me? Follow for follow, and weird stuff like that. You asked a bona fide, genuine question, and that deserves some respect. Yeah, I'm following you now. Yeah, Gav says streaming takes a long time to get followers and then followers at the end. I think, you guys are so wonderful. This is what I love about you lot. It's so, you make my heart. I'm going to start crying in a minute. I'm on my period at the moment. I'm just like, you guys are so lovely. This is just a whole world away from Facebook, isn't it? Oh my God. You lot instill my faith in humanity again. Thank you. You DJ dubstep and drum and bass can kind of produce. Awesome. Yeah, it's really nice to meet you, mate. Oh, yeah. So K-Star says, I've been DJ for 30 plus years. I've always wanted to produce. And like I said, I've just purchased FL Studio. So complete noob. No better time than now to jump in and learn music production. K-Star. So you are doing the right thing. The new version of the current version of FL Studio, remembering that Image Line will give you free updates for life. So it doesn't matter how old your version of FL Studio is. If you update it to the current version, you'll have the newest current version, which has a helpful little AI helper called Gopher. So if there's things that you don't know what to do, you can ask Gopher now. Some people ask ChatGPT for instruction things. Is that why everyone uses FL? I didn't know everyone used FL. I'm glad that more people are, though. I think it's become more an option than it used to be. I remember when it was we either used Cubase or you were either Cubase or you were Pro Tools, maybe Logic, depending on if you were on a Mac or a PC. Yep, Gav bought FL5. Oh, that's way older than mine. I think I started on FL9. Yeah, Ableton's awesome. We use Ableton. It was through being at uni that I started to use Ableton. They made us. They made us. They made me use it after years of being so used to FL Studio, and I'm so glad that they did, because it's handy to be able to produce music in more than one genre. Very, very handy to not be reliant, because if you can learn more than one, then you'll always be able to apply, that knowledge to other DAWs. I'm in an R about Bitwig at the moment, because I think Bitwig seems to have some really cool and interesting assigning options for things just on a workflow basis, but I need to look into it a little bit more first. When he says, we'll need to look into FL, I have it, but have never used it. Just open it up and mess around. And yeah, do you know what you could also do? If you're up for doing a live stream, just get FL Studio up and just learn with everyone else in your chat. Just put in the title of the thing that you're learning. You don't really, and you'll get someone who'll pop in who knows what they're doing. I do that a lot when I'm playing like Final Fantasy X and stuff on my gaming channel. I'll do it online, and then every time I'll get like a super person who understands the game on much deeper levels than me, and I've become really, really good friends with some of them, and they'll tell me stuff, that just makes the game even more fun. And I would say gaming is very similar to making music. So, yeah, I'm welcoming everybody. Hi, Jerry. I've had a really lovely day. I'm really really tired, but I'm having so much fun at the moment at uni. I've got a couple of books I'm reading right now. This one, Artificial Intelligence and Music Ecosystem. So we were doing about AI in my lecture today, and then just like a production book core reading for my assignment that I'm going to be starting soon. Hi, psychotherapy. Yeah, I've been talking about AI. I have had some very binary views on AI in the past, and I feel like I am changing my mind on certain things. We did a bit of a thing today where we used Suno. Some of you guys would be knowledgeable about Suno, and another one called Udio or something. And I've used Suno on and off for a few years since it was a thing. Yes, Richie. And but I've only ever used it for silly things, for messing around. And it has got really, really good now. I put in a few prompts earlier, and it gave me some really kind of cool ideas where I guess they could be like ideas that you could use to start off from a clean slate. Sometimes it's getting started can be the hardest way, the hardest part. Suno, S-U-N-O, Suno. I think it's suno.ai. I'll put it in the chat. If you've heard any of my best friend Dave's tunes, hi Steve, you will have heard some of his music that he made. Can't even tell you now because I don't want to get full, but some of them are very, very risque. AI will be the death of producers, though, says Rennie. I actually had that worry. I'm not worried anymore. I'm not worried anymore. I don't think that will ever be a problem. And there's a few reasons why. When I started this book, so there's one aspect of it which I hadn't even really considered, and that was if you think that AI producers are going to overtake or replace human ones, then you might be thinking that at some point in the future that would mean that you would have entities who were seen as being human and having the same rights as human beings. And that would be limitless. It'd be an infinite amount of entities that would be seen as being replacing a human being. And if you started to get into that kind of mindset, that's where it gets very dangerous for things such as rights for voting is one massive one. So I don't think it will ever get to that stage where we will think of AI producers or AI anything as being an entity in themselves, because you could literally just clone that and clone that and clone that, and you would have billions and billions and billions. It's we can't fathom that. So what happens is it would just implode in itself, which is entropy. So what will probably happen, and what makes sense to me because I've seen this happen already with DJing, is people will just go back to listening to music by humans. Already. Okay, so let's look at Midjourney. Midjourney, a few years ago, started using that to make some pictures, images, graphics. And after a while, you start to look at the photos, the graphic, and everyone's getting sick of it now. If I see an AI picture on Facebook, I will just block the page because I just can't be bothered with it because I'm sick of it already. So the same will be said for AI music and for that side of things as well. Obviously, there'll be a section of it which will probably be my professor was saying, like the sync library kind of thing, and music that maybe be in the background of adverts, that kind of thing. But I don't think Ladu Lazy. Yeah, this is another thing my professor said about it. Would it replace live bands? No. There was a band he was talking about, an AI band called the Velvet Sundown or something. The Velvet Sundown. So it was a bit of an experiment, social experiment. It was a completely AI band, and we listened to one of their tracks today in our class, and it was good. But it kind of let itself down on the vocals a little bit. Yeah, no worries, Maju. Take care. But it was an interesting concept of, would people's perception of this or enjoyment change if they knew that it was AI? And it did. It did. So in the same way, I had a good analogy on this. If you watch a robot playing golf and at 500 yards, it can sink the ball in the hole, the goal or whatever it's called, and it did it the first time, you're like, yeah, that's pretty cool. And then you got it to do it again, and it did it again, and then you got to do it again, and it did it again, and every single time it just hits that golf ball 500 yards and lands straight in the hole. After 500 times, whatever, like it doesn't matter anymore, does it? People want to hear and see and be a part of the human journey with the artist. This is why I think these days a lot of content and a lot of artists online do really well when they show behind the scenes stuff, what they're doing in the studio, a day in the life of, whatever it is. Me talking to you lot now, and I'll, go off on a tangent about, I don't know, one of my kids being a dickhead or whatever. That's humanization of someone who you follow. or whose music you like, or whose DJing you're into. And those are things that maybe you could, there is some area where you could have an AI thing, have its own kind of like storyline and stuff. But I don't know. I just don't feel that worried about it anymore. I do feel that it will just be a tool, and I don't think it will completely replace the creative process. Because ultimately, we're supposed to be creative, aren't we? That's literally what we're supposed to do, however way you do it. So yeah, but I don't think it's something to be worried about. But this assignment that I've got to do will break me open more on how I feel about it in ways that I'm not even touching the surface of it yet. But a few notes that I've written down to do with AI, because when we say AI, what do we mean? And what do we mean in context of music production as well? So we have a few different types of things that we use, plugins that we use, and we have things like DSP, digital signal processing, which is like Pro Q3, which is not AI, but it's helpful. It's a tool for us to use. Then we've got things like algorithmic plugins that will use maths, and then machine learning, and then actual AI, which will learn over time, along with the machine learning. And what else have I written down here? Reference track analyzing. There's loads of like Isotope have got a mastering thing now. But yeah, there's levels to it. There's levels to it. There's smart EQs, mix assistants now. Like there's a lot of different levels to it. So again, but all of them do seem to still require, apart from if you're using generative AI, and that is just making the track for you completely in Suno, and you're just giving it a prompt. The others they are helping the human artist along with whatever it is that they're doing, but the artist is still the human. It's just that it is, helping in different ways. Maybe a little bit like the paperclip on Microsoft Word. Do you remember that? I remember that. Do you remember that? Huh? Do you remember that, Michal? Yeah, the wizard. Yep, the wizard in PowerPoint. Yeah, that's all it'll be. Hello, Transfinal Sessions. I see you are writing a letter. Yeah. Hi, Chris. Would you like some help writing a letter? Yeah. What's the other one as well? There's even outside of music production, the AI stuff that we have now, like Grammarly, for example. But yeah, wasn't there a paperclip in XP? Yeah, there was a paperclip in Microsoft Word. Yeah. Ask Jeeves. Yes. See, we've always had things like this around us. Siri, ChatGPT, obviously a newer one, but yeah, I just found the whole conversation around AI and music production right now. It's such an interesting time to be doing this course, doing this masters, and having to write in depth about a subject, which usually, like, if I wasn't doing this masters, I would have been like, oh yeah, AI, yeah, like fucking Suno, yeah. And not really think about it in the deeper ways that you have to when you're doing it on an academic level. So I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, the main takeaway from this for me has been, stop looking at it as being some kind of threat. Don't be intimidated by it. It's not going away. Let's use it to our advantage in a way that means that you are going to have a much happier time of your music production journey. I think a good analogy for that would be like using presets over doing everything from scratch in terms of sound design. Now, I love creating sounds from scratch, but my God, if I don't write it down and if I don't recreate that over, of course, if I don't do that for a few weeks, I forget how I did things, even down to a respace, or putting unison on, which waveform to use, and, how to get it. And so it's easier sometimes to just use presets. And is that taking away from your creative process? I don't think it is, but I think it depends where your strengths and weaknesses are, and also what it is that you're mostly wanting to express within your tracks. Transvinyl Session says, I find it a little concerning, AI, for example, when an AI vocalist is used, it means human talent becomes irrelevant or unnecessary, maybe. So we were talking about this in our class today a little bit, and the one thing that it doesn't really get right a lot of the time is the voices. A bit like AI not getting the fingers right in terms of the graphics, in terms of music. The one thing that it's not really getting completely right at the moment is the vocals. It's good, but it's not quite there yet. And then the other aspect to this is, if you make something using Suno or Udio or any of the other ones, we have a problem with copyright. So the copyright, if you're using the free version, defaults back to the owner of the AI, whichever one that is. You can buy a subscription, and for Suno specifically, you own the copyright for the duration that you have a subscription. So effectively, all you're doing is you're just renting a license to use your own creation. And then if you decide not to subscribe anymore, then you don't own it. There are some, obviously, areas where, okay, would it know that you've used that? And would it know that it's copywritten? Maybe not. Unless it's a full-on, you made a track in Suno and that's it, and you don't mess around with it. You're not just taking some part of it out. And then also I think that they've thought about this. I think they've taken this into account, because on the subscriptions you can actually get the MIDI files for whatever it's made for you as well. So if you had the MIDI file of something and then you changed it around a little bit and changed the sound of it, I don't think that could be considered copyright infringement. So maybe it's just that they're covering their backs for now and just seeing where the land lies in a few years. I think that it's going to be changing quite rapidly, but like I said, I'm going to keep you guys in the loop with it. I need to do some deep diving with it because of my masters. Anything of interest that I find out, I will continue to let you know. Yay! Okay, on with the show. I know Mark Ross is in, so we're going to do Mark Ross' tune first, and that is, is it called Tidy or is it called Bang Tidy? Because I'm going to say it's called Tidy. Okay, so that was Mark Ross and Tidy or Bang Tidy. He's after some advice because he's been getting. Yeah, I understand where you're at with this, Mark. We have some proper moments in it. We have some. We do. What do you mean? Drink more water? Oh, is that your advice? Oh, Richie, that's really good advice, actually. Thank you. Thank you. The main riff in the breakdown was expecting a big riff melody. Okay, so Chris thinks maybe a bit more extra stuff in the middle bit. I agree. Mon petit Lupin, hello. Mon petit lapin, mon petit loup. How you doing, babe? Good to see you. Thank you for resubscribing. Thank you. Merci. I really think there's something special about this track. And it was to do with when you've got your kick and your bass, and then you've got that acid line, and we've got it at the beginning, and then you've got it at the end. So those bits are done. Those, they're not even the intros and the outros. It's more like the middle eights or the bridges, and then the bit in the middle. The bit in the middle. You were trying to make techno. Nah, this is European hard trance, and you know that's where your heart is. But if you want to have the mindset of techno, then that I sometimes do that, but it always ends up being more melodic. But the good thing about thinking about it in terms of techno is it means that we probably spend a bit more time on the drums. So typically European hard trance, and this isn't my distinction, this is a distinction that I picked up from Guy. Guy said that, he doesn't spend as much time and attention on the drums, but techno would be more. Drums are, the main factor of it. That's why the melody bit kind of sucks a bit. I don't think it sucks. I want to have another listen to it. Do you know, I think maybe an issue is I think there's a lot of side chain on this, and I think it's a very complicated side chain. But if it's not a side chain, there's some kind of key triggered filter envelope on the different MIDI pattern hits. I think it is. I think that's a side chain though. It's making it sound a little bit like it's a bit too harsh, I think. Maybe it's just a bit too flat. Maybe you just need a little bit more. I don't know what your processing is, what you've done to that, and how many layers there are, and then maybe it's just a little bit too. Yeah. Direct Vinyl says the dynamics need to be worked on to separate each part. It could be something as simple as just changing the sound. Literally, could just be that. I like that. I like the melody of that. Yeah. It is very Kai Tracid, but the sound isn't. The sound needs a bit of work. That sound's just letting it down. That's all it is. Yeah. That's probably why it's been making you scratch your head, because you're like, well, that's what it would be like looking at it, it's I think that's all it is a massive fan of that sound. Just think it sounds a little bit stuck on. So yeah, just change the sound. Just literally try another preset. And then start working on it from that point. I wouldn't even think about it too much. You have another version, but it was too trancy. Too trancy for whom? Huh? Too trancy for what? Eh? What was the problem, huh? Not gay enough. What's the matter with you, huh? You scared of a little trance in your pants? Pussy. I don't know. I like it there. I like it when the other things... Yeah, but when this bit, it does have the energy. Oh, more square wave. There's a bit of square wave in there, and I like the sound of that. If this has got layers on it, I would bring out the square wave layer a bit and set the other one back a little bit. That's what I would do. Yeah. I think you're overthinking it. Imagine that. Oh my God. Newsflash. An artist was overthinking their song that they were making. Imagine doing that, huh? Stupid. So silly. It does have many, many layers. Yeah, I think that I could hear a square wave layer poking through that. I'd like to hear that being more prominent. And also, I would go back through and mute some of those layers then until you've got something that sounds a little less busy or squashed, because it sounds like you might have then like squashed that into an area as well. Yeah, you're definitely on the right track with it. It's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. All of the yeses. This is my favourite bit. This bit. Oh, here we go. Great arrangement. Yeah, like, come on. That's a fucking moment, Mark. That's a fucking moment. And it's happening right at the end and it's happening right at the beginning. Let's just do that all the way through. Copy and paste. There you go. That bit there is just awesome. Yeah. And you know what? Part of the reason why it was so good, I think there was less happening. So another rule that Guy always tells me is, strip it back. Kick, bass, acid. Sometimes that's all you need. Bit of drums. Yeah. Honestly, it's got some proper moments in it. Well done, mate. Keep up the sterling work. Everyone go and follow Mark now, please. Do it! Sorry, Mark. Next, we have got Joyomofrobro. And this is a song. God, sorry, I didn't read it. Oh, dear. I'd be a great teacher, wouldn't I? Do you remember when your teacher used to come in? Well, go out of the class. I used to be at the back of the class. And everyone would start talking. And then I would go, in my best teacher voice, I would go, and then everyone would stop and then look round like, oh no, the teacher's back. And then they'd see that it was just me. And they'd be like, oh God, it's just Amber. And then they'd roll their eyes. I didn't have many friends, but I used to get such enjoyment out of doing that. When did it all go wrong for me in needing social acceptance? I didn't give a fuck at school. I think because I just knew I wasn't popular. You just kind of lean into it, don't you? You know what I mean? Like you don't care like at that point because you knew that they weren't your friends. So like, oh, fuck you. They'd probably be a bit like being in prison. I'm going to start doing things like that again. Yeah, definitely, Mark. Yeah. And now you have people standing waiting to talk to you. I don't know why. I mean, it's nice though. It is very sweet. It's very sweet. I think I've got better at talking as I've got older. Stop it. Okay, so now we've got Joyomofrobro, and we are going to be putting our listening ears on for this. If anyone's got any helpful advice in ways that they think that this track could be improved, then yeah, just let us know in the thingy what you guys are in the chat box. There we go. That is Got Bass by Joyomofrobro. What do you guys think of this? I love the energy. Love the energy of this. I love the little Hoover. Ooh, ooh. So we've got 90s Technodrome vibes, 90s Adam Beyer. Someone else mentioning Marky G. Yeah, it sounds to me like this could have been made on hardware. You know what I mean? And it's got like that, because it's got that kind of like very raw. Someone else, I think, said the word raw in the chat as well. It's got that very raw drum machine kind of 90s aesthetic to it, which I really liked. The producer and the DJ more so, the DJ in me was wanting a bit more variation, especially in the middle bit. I thought that it was like every 32 bars we were having like a fill, and then we were going back into the loops and then the Hoover. We didn't have a lot of movement from that part of it. So I think for me, I would have liked to have heard a bit more variation. Usually every 16 bars or maybe even every 8 bars, something is taken away or something is brought in. And that shouldn't be a hard and fast rule, especially not for genres such as techno or techno-inspired subgenres, because of that kind of organic aspect to it. You know, things can be thrown in and, you know, in a way that's kind of nice. I liked how it threw me off when the kick drum wasn't there as well. I didn't know where the downbeat was. And I kind of liked feeling a bit lost in it in that way. And the reason why I liked it was because when the kick did come back, I could very quickly pick up where the downbeat was. So that's important to me as a DJ, to know where that downbeat is. Yeah. I think that sonically it could be a little bit fuller, but it wasn't ear piercing. There was no real balancing issues in it, and it was nice to listen to. So maybe punchier kicks, yeah, maybe a bit more driven into perhaps, but like Status Ho said, but not really. I didn't really think about it. I was thinking about it more in terms of arrangement for the majority of listening to that. But one thing that it did make me do, and I know that it made you guys do that as well through the emojis that you were sticking in the chat, it just made us like get energetic, didn't it? And that's what music ultimately is all about. Can you move somebody? Can you change a person's emotions? Are you able to change their emotion in a chemically, what's the word? How am I going to explain this? Can you alchemize some kind of like chemical change in a person's brain just simply by making them listen to your tune? I certainly think that definitely made me feel energized, and it made me feel happy, and it made me feel, yeah, it just made me feel something. And if you can do that to somebody, I think that's like a fucking magician, isn't it? A musician. There you go. Because that's what it did. I liked it. I liked it for those reasons. So yeah, thank you, Joyomofrobro. Thank you for sending that in. Guys, please go and do me a favour, and also yourselves, because you'll go and listen to even more of his amazing work. Please go and give him a follow. Thank you. Next up, we've got Ed Jones. I think Ed's in the chat. Ed was here last week or the week before. That's been a melomaniac. What is? Who are you calling a melomaniac, huh? A melomaniac. Melomaniac is a person with an abnormal... Oh my God, I didn't know! word. Do you lot know about this? A melomaniac is a person with an abnormal or excessive fondness for music. What? We've got a word for it. What the fuck? Oh, here we go. Oh. Okay, I'm writing it in the chat. I'm writing it all in the chat. I had to do it in 2 lots. Look at this. Yeah, can I get a doctor's note for that? A melomaniac is a person with an abnormal or excessive fondness for music. The term comes from melomania, which describes an inordinate liking for or attraction to music. A melomaniac is a dedicated music lover, sometimes to the point of obsession. Oh, I feel so seen. Oh my God. Definition: a person with an abnormal or excessive love for music. Etymology. The word is derived from melomania, which is a condition of having an inordinate liking for music. Usage: it can be used to describe someone who is passionately devoted to music, whether they are a casual listener or an obsessed fan. Related terms: audiophile or musophile. I'm glad that we've got a different word, because I will never call myself an audiophile or a museophile, because it sounds too much like paedophile, doesn't it? I don't want to be, I don't want to be a file of any description. So, or a crocodile. Even that's too close. So, yeah, can we just be maniacs? I love it. Yes. Melomaniac. We're the melomaniacs. Oh, Agathan Scrolls. Welcome in. Thank you. Was that K-Star who said that? Thank you, K-Star. That's so cool. Melomaniac. It can't be that well known. It's like I've never heard of that before. But I'm going to be using it all the time now. Melomaniac. Cool. I think I like the maniac bit. It's crazy. Yeah. Cool. Okay, Ed, are you ready? This is Breezy Growth. Back. Do something. Turn my limiter back down again. I put it up for the last 2. Back to 0. Okay. Go. There we go. Breezy Growth by Ed Jones. I really like the name of that as well. I think that name, because it does sound breezy, and it's progressive in the sense that it was kind of like growing throughout the tune, and it was progressing and had more layers adding to it. Yeah. Should have back of the piano slightly. What does that mean? Should have back of should have backed off the piano slightly. No, I don't think so. I liked it. I liked the quirkiness of those pianos. Maybe what might help them to sit better in the mix would be some kind of reverb with a duck on it, not an actual duck. Where it ducks when it's like one called Crystalline that I use, that quack quack, that might help it to kind of fit a little bit better, without losing the solidity of the piano, because that's ultimately what's important, in the way that you're using it here. Is if you just started washing it with reverb, it's going to set it too far back, and then it kind of loses its prominence. So by having something with a ducker on there or a pre-delay, you'd be able to keep the solidity of it a bit more. I liked the oddness of the melody, and I really did like that. Like, it's not something that I would have ever been able to predict that you would have played in. Put a duck on it. Yeah, I did. I quite liked it. I liked the randomness of it. It was random, but it didn't sound in any way. It didn't sound dissonant. It didn't clash, because of it resolved so nicely every 4 bars. It was cool. And I think also because you left the bass, the whole track is always, your bass line's always on that root note all the way through. So I think that you've created interest in having that melody moving around in quite an erratic way. And it can take it because you're keeping the solidity of the entire track on that root note. You've got to have like a level. You don't have to do anything, but it can be for dance music, trance, dancing music. It's good to have like a solid anchor of some description, in that being maybe the bass line or a vocal, something that everything else is kind of like moving around. And I think that served its purpose, the fact that you kept it on the root note. I liked it. It reminded me a little bit in terms of that of like Cafe Del Mar, where it's on the same note all the way through, the same bass note all the way through, and then the melody dances around it. Hello, Wilson Serrano. Hello. Hi there, good sir. How are you doing? Yeah, we'll send something in for next week, please. Be nice to hear off you. Yeah, this is a really massive improvement, Ed, from the one that you sent in 2 weeks ago as well. And I'm so happy for you. This is a really great part of the music production journey, where you make leaps and bounds every tune that you make, because you find a new trick. And I know last time, I remember we spoke about automation and using automation in your tunes. And it's such a great way to get movement and energy and expression into your music through using those kinds of tools that we have. And I think that this is a really, really strong tune. I think there are some areas that it would be even better, but it's not really important at this stage for you. I want you to continue making more of these and just enjoy and bank how good it feels to finish a track that you can be proud of. because it's very, very important to feel good about parts of this journey, because let's face it, a lot of it is fuck. Oh no. And God, it sounded fine yesterday. Yeah, there's a lot of that. So when you get one of these moments, and you've made a track that you feel really accomplished with, please bank that in your mind and remind yourself that you just achieved something, because you go through this pit of learning. I talk to my students a lot about the pit of learning. Hello, Martin. Psychosis, thank you so much for 25 months in a row. Love you. And it can become really disheartening when you reach one of those points where the improvements are so few and far between, or they're quite small, or they don't even exist, or you can even feel like you've gone backwards. And that will happen many times, especially when you mess around with the workflow, or you're not really feeling it, or you've rushed it, or you're not really sure about something, but you've just done it anyway. It's all good experience, but it's really nice when you get a moment of massive leveling up to bank that feeling and ride it for a while. Really, really important. Yay! Yay! Well done. I'm really, really, really proud of you, mate. Really, really, really proud. So thank you for sending it in. Richie needs somebody to ride him, if that's okay. Richie, are you still heterosexual? You're not bothered anymore? The boy, you have a boy as well? Maybe? Yeah? Okay. Any boys out there, please get in touch with Richie. Thank you. Next up, we have got Studio X, and this is a track called Time Bomb. You should experiment. Oh my God, Richie, you need to. If you haven't done it, if not now, when? Like, if your wife has a problem with it, I'll write you a note. I'll just say, look, it's not gay. He's just checking. He just needs to know. And if you mess with this, then you're a bad person. That's what I'll say to her. Buy his best. I love that. He's just checking. My God. He's just being thorough. Just checking. Try before you buy. There you go. Thank you. It's important. You've got to go and explore, express yourself. Just do all those things. But do them sensibly with a condom. Thank you. Okay, next up, we've got G.W.R. Time Bomb. Hey, listen, it's only gay. I was told this the other day by a gay person. It's only gay if the balls touch. So if the balls don't touch each other, fine. Okay. Hi, Eric. You can work that one out. There's plenty of options, okay? There really is. You can do it. Seen it done. You'll be fine. Okay, there we go. That is Studio X and Time Bomb. I really like this. I think it's got a real nod to old school hard house, circa early 2000s. I think that's the vibe that they're going for here. I think there's one thing that was just sticking out to me was there seemed to be there could have been more of these like question and answer moments. So like this bit here. All of this is great. So we've got quite a lot of, there is like, after the main break. We've got this bit that carries on for, I think, 2 sets of 32 bars, or at least 2 sets of 16. And then we've got the introduction of those chord stabs again. There's a lot of room in here where there could be more question and answerings. So, like... Woo! You know, there didn't have to be those exact sounds, but there was a lot of space where I was expecting to hear another thing coming in. Call and response. Do it! Yeah, so it didn't need to be that obvious, but it needed something else in keeping stylistically with the other sounds. So something quite dark, moody maybe, or even maybe something quite bright to give that kind of contrast. But it definitely needed something else to fill in those gaps, because I was feeling the lack of, I was feeling the dissonance of that. I was feeling the there is a lot of space in there for putting a few more little incidental one shots that'll be in keeping with it. And I think that that's probably what it needs in order for it not to become too static. Vocal samples, yep, exactly. There could be anything, any of the above. Needs a whip sound on the kick. So you mean like a reverse? Yeah, I like putting reverses in. That's good. Yeah. Yep. More space for the bass, says Wilton Serrano. Yeah. All good ideas, all good suggestions. What a cool tune. Very Karim, yeah. It needs an Amber. Huh! Should we put it in now? Here we go. Ready? Huh! Huh! Oh, yeah? There you go. Fixed it. Yeah, I really like it. Really strong kick and bass. I like the snaps, claps that you've got in there as well. Really cool. Yeah, just really nice. Just put in maybe a few more little question and answers. Someone's come in my room. What do you want? Yeah, I'm straight. What? Are you going to use a washing machine? Do you know how to do it? No. Okay. Do you want me to do it for you? I don't mind. I like being used. I like being Friday. Sort it out a bit for you. Okay. Bye. Bye. Okay. You can take the superstar DJ into his superstar DJ place, but you can't take the mother out of the superstar DJ. You don't give a fuck. Do my washing. Yeah. I don't mind at all. I'm like, yeah, cool. I just like the attention. I like being needed. Before I came on the stream, I made her a bubble bath with candles and gave her one of my bath bombs as well. And I put a towel in there for her. And then she went, why have you only put the water level up to like that level? Because she likes to have it really high. I was like, you can put more water in. I mean, hang on, actually, you're supposed to say thank you. She's like, oh, come here. She is grateful. It's just, you know what kids are like. They don't always like remember to say please and thank you. But yeah, you can drop your washing. I'll do yours as well. That's fine. Yeah, I like being useful. But probably, hang on, they're 15 now. They should be doing their own washing. I think she can do it. Yeah, I'll have to just check. I'll check that she can. I'm sure she can. Maybe, she just wanted me to do it. Oh, she just wanted me to do it. Oh, oh. Am I getting played? I don't care if I'm getting played. I genuinely am quite happy about being. I don't mind. Yeah, I used to do all my washing. Do you know my mum used to give me 20 embassy number ones for doing the ironing. She used to pay me in cigarettes. Oh my God. Imagine doing that these days. You'd have social services round. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh my God. Studio X, guys, please make sure you go and follow Studio X over on Facebook. Me just giving you. Yeah, no worries, Ed. See you soon. Hang on. Give him a follow, please. Yeah, thank you very much for sending it in, mate. And I really enjoyed listening to that. Really cool kick and bass. You remember 10 faves were 90p? I remember you could buy packs of 10 cigarettes for about, they were like £1.25 or something. Oh my God. Do you remember gratis points? You'd have gratis points in Benson and Hedges, and they'd be like little vouchers of like 20 points or whatever, and then you'd have a catalogue, and then my mum used to like, because we lived in a pub, she would have all of the cigarette packets, and like there would be like loads of these gratis points. So we had a catalogue, and you could exchange the gratis points for like stuff in the catalogue, like a baseball cap and a t-shirt. And the baseball, I remember we got a baseball cap and it said Benson and Hedges on it. So I'm there at like 8 years old with a Benson and Hedges fucking baseball cap on. Oh. Oh my God. Green Shield stamps. What are they? Green. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, they were disbanded, whatever it is, in 1991. So I was like 9 then. And the football pools, they still do those. Mother got loads of stuff with the Green Shield stamps as Grebby. Aw. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy now, isn't it? Just to think, I remember when we used to be able, we could smoke on aeroplanes. I remember going to Florida on holiday. And whenever we'd go on holiday, my mum would always book us all in the smoking area. Like, and it used to infuriate the actual smokers because there'd be like these two kids in the back of the plane. So I'd always have my mum would be like, "Get up for that lady because she needs to have a cigarette. You need to go and sit in her seat for a bit." Oh, my God. Yeah, you could smoke anywhere you wanted. Smoking is, yeah, we know smoking's bad now, though. That's the difference. Like, we didn't know. We kind of knew a little bit, didn't we? But yeah, don't smoke. I don't smoke at all anymore. I smoked from, don't tell my kids this, but from 13. So, I gave up smoking 6 years ago. Something I can't even remember now. Don't even vape anymore. So boring. God. But yeah, we know now, don't we? Like it's kind of a no-brainer. But in like the proper olden days, they used to actually actively say that smoking was good for you. Good for you. They used to have lead in makeup. Mate. Well done, Joyomofrobro. Yeah, it can be difficult to give up smoking. I think it's less difficult than people make it out to be. I think when you decide that for me, I couldn't lie to my kids anymore. My mum died when I was 17 and she had throat cancer. Probably a lot of that was to do with the fact that we lived in a pub and my mum owned the pub and looked after it and ran it. And there's a lot of passive smoking. And the fact that, we're on the back of planes, as kids, there was always a lot of smoke, everywhere in my life as a kid growing up. I remember that's just how it was. Um, but yeah, the reason why I stopped smoking was I'd never smoked in front of my children, but my children knew I smoked because I didn't lie to them about it, but I obviously didn't do it in their face. But one day, one of them said, "Mummy, why are you smoking if you know that smoking can give you cancer? Because you could die like your mummy died of throat cancer. Why are you still doing that, mummy?" And I was like, "Do you know what, babe?" I was like, "I'm gonna have to give up smoking, aren't I?" And I gave up smoking. I couldn't answer it. I couldn't. Like the way we were brought up would have been like, "Shut up. Kids should be seen and not heard." That's how I was brought up. You didn't ask questions like that, but I actively encourage my children to always challenge and always ask questions. So when they said that, I was like, okay, it's obviously time for me to give up smoking then. So there we go. Hello, Proper Dom. Hi. Yeah, I'm really glad that I did. I feel amazing now. Oh my God, I remember a week into, if anyone still smokes, let me just please tell you, like, I do understand, but I'm telling you now, the amount of energy I had after 1 week of not smoking, and then 2 weeks after not smoking, I had even more, and then it just multiplied, and I've got used to it now. But a lot of you always say, "Oh, you seem to have so much energy." It's because I'm fucking allowing it. I'm not giving myself this poison. I'm not intoxicating myself. I have the odd can of Monster or maybe a couple of alcoholic beverages occasionally now. But for the majority of the time, I'm not putting things in my body that are going to fuck me up. So it's been a massive thing for me. Yeah, alcohol is worse than cigarette. I'd say I don't know, maybe. The two can go hand in hand as well, can't they? Yeah, oh, flapjack. Oh, I love flapjacks. Oh, my goodness. Have we had a raid? Hello? Hello, DJ Mano. How you doing? Thank you for the raid. We were just talking about giving up smoking. Is anyone else a smoker, ex-smoker, or still smoking? Do you know the other thing as well? I did a lot of audiobook self-hypnosis things around stopping smoking. And one of the things that it said in the hypnosis thing was that you won't mind other people smoking. You won't mind the smell of it, and I don't. I don't mind if someone else is smoking around me, or even if they may be smoking a joint. I like the smell of it. I'm like, oh, well, I like the smell of that. The smell of that. That's nice. I don't mind the smell of it. I think it's because I have so much nostalgia around the smoking smell. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. Never did, never will. Is that never smoked? I don't smoke the reefer. Oh, I used to smoke the reefer. I used to do hot knives. We used to do bucket bongs and watch reruns of Faulty Towers. Oh, it was so much fun. But you can get away with doing things like that all the time when you're in your late teens, early 20s. It's fine. It's fine. But you got to put a TBC on this. You've got to say to yourself, look, I'm going to have fun getting stoned and I'm really good at Gran Turismo. However, I know at some point I'm going to have to stop because my metabolism is going to slow down. I'm going to get the munchies. I'm going to put on loads of weight. I'm not going to achieve things because I'm just constantly stoned all the time. So, at some point we're going to have to stop having fun like this. But we forget, don't we? So you've got to try and remember not to do it all the time. Just sometimes, not all of the times. We played bong golf. It was mental. I wouldn't smoke at today's prices anyway. I don't know. I don't know what the going rate is for spliffs anymore or whatever. Alcohol and cigarettes are the hardest habits to break. Maybe. I think also there was a good point that Alan Carr, not the comedian, the other one, wrote a book on giving up smoking. I think we have got a belief system that it's hard to give up smoking, and that could have been even propagated by tobacco companies in order to make us think that, oh, don't even bother giving it because you'll find it too difficult. I don't think it is difficult to quit doing smoking. And the reason for that is the physical craving of it gets out of your system within a few days. You know what I mean? Hi, Techno Joe. So I think it could just be that we are being collectively told that it's difficult to give up. Because all it takes is a few people who don't really want to give up to say, oh, yeah, but it's really difficult to give up smoking. Because then it allows them to still smoke. It gives them, it says, look, I'm not being a bad person. It's just really, really hard to give up smoking. I'm not quite there yet. It's like saying, oh, please, not yet. Don't take the covers off me yet. I'll get up in a minute. Don't put the cold water all over me. I'll get up in a second. I'm just going to hit snooze. I'm going to hit snooze again first. That's all that is. Hello. Hello, official Franco de House. How are you doing? Househead. Yeah, I think that if you've set your mind to it and you put a date in your calendar, you can give up smoking, you can give up drinking. You've got to have sickened yourself with it. You've got to be, some of us do anyway. Some of us have just got to be sickened with it. Like, I am so, like, done with this that you're just not going to bother anymore. But yeah, that's what I reckon. Next up, we have got John Cooper, and this track is called Arise. Do I miss it? Do I miss what? Smoking? Sometimes. Sometimes, if I've had a drink, if I've had an alcoholic drink, sometimes I get an old program, the start of an executable program that goes, oh, cigarette, and then it remembers that it's a non-smoker. So not massively, and I have tested this. I tested it without realizing it a number of years ago now. I got really, really, really drunk with an old school friend of mine. I went back to my village where I grew up, and me and my friend Corinne, she's known me since I was like 4 years old, and I've not seen her for a long time. We got so drunk. We had a fight, not like a proper fight, just like a sisterly, like, fuck you, because that's what we would have done, years ago. Like, and then we cried, and then we made up, and she's like, do you want a cigarette? I'm like, yeah, give me a cigarette. So she's like, there you go, I was a cigarette. So then, hello Dowler 82. So then I had a toke on this of this cigarette, and literally as I inhaled it and it hit my lungs, I just thought I was going to throw up. It was horrible. I'd forgotten how to smoke, and I didn't like it. And that for me was the absolute icing on the cake and realization of, yeah, you are now a non-smoker. You are not someone that smokes anymore. It was, even like, because you get this kind of crossover period of you're not smoking and you have a drink and you're like, oh, just have a cheeky ciggy. And then you become the social smoker for a bit. This has gone to the point now where I was like, bleh, bleh. It was not nice. It was not nice. And that was the best thing that, it's told me now that it's not for me anymore. So, but I do still kind of miss it, because it was like, especially when I used to do roll-ups, when I was skint, I would make roll-ups, and it was the ritual of making a roll-up, or spliffs back in the day. It's the whole ritual of you get the dopamine hit of doing that. So yeah, I do understand that, it's more than just the physical addiction. It's the whole social aspect and, your patterns. But the more that you understand your patterns, if anyone's having problem with addiction, I would look into cognitive behavioral therapy. Understanding your patterns on a deep level will allow you to unravel each and every one of your unconscious patterns that you have, and will allow you to stop doing those things, or not stop, just replace them with better habits. A really good book is called Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a very, very good book. I'm saying all of this from a position of being addicted to many, many substances in my time. Many, many, many of them, and quite happily, at points in my life. I had a great time. It was brilliant. But like I said, you've got to have that TBC on it. You've got to know, okay, I'm getting older now. I've got responsibilities. I want to live a healthy life. I don't, even if I'm not here for a long time, I want my time in this body to feel good. And I want to feel all right up here. So yeah, there just comes that point where we start to value that more than, just staying stuck in those patterns. But yeah, if I hope that that's helpful. John Cooper and Arise. I've got the track now. Is John in? John. Thank you, DJ Mano DK. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I'll make sure I check it out. Awesome. Awesome. Give you a shout out as well, please. I'll do it, Richie. Fine. Richie's on Grinder, I think, but at this point. If we've got any gay boys in the chat, can you speak to Richie B, please? Yeah, anyway, back to the music. Back to the music. I do love talking to you guys about these kinds of things, though, because I'm very passionate about everyone's mental health and making sure that you all win. And I don't ever want to come across as me like preaching at you or or anything like that. It's gone too far for that now. I see a lot of people who have stopped taking ketamine on the weekends, and now they're like pretending that they're like proper gym bros, and then they're like being like really patronizing to people who've gone out and been raving at the weekend. Like, oh, I'm better than that. Like, oh, everyone's got to stop taking drugs now because I can't take ketamine anymore because I nearly lost my entire house and my missus nearly decided that she didn't want to be with me anymore. That's not it either. There's so many of them. I see so many of them in my news feed. People I know in the scene as well, and they're just like, "Oh, just fuck off!" Like, stop telling people what to do. People can do what they want. If you want to go out of the weekend, enjoy yourself. Bloody let your hair down. Life's too hard. But if it is becoming, a crux and an issue, it's important to speak to someone about it. We do recover. Yeah, exactly. Enjoy partying, but responsibly and not too often. But definitely sometimes. Unless you're in abstinence-based recovery, then obviously don't. But everything in moderation. Okay, John, here we go. This is Arise.
Skills and 10 ability points, plus a new title.
There we go, John Cooper and Arise. Thank you, G.W.R. Thank you very much for resubscribing. Thank you to all of you who are subscribed to me, because it's massively, massively, massively helpful, especially with me being a student again, and Twitch taking a big cut of what we make as DJs on here with the music, copyright stuff. So it really, really does help. So thank you for helping see me through my studies. And just being here, just sharing the stream, whatever you can do, it all helps. Hey, Vinyl Steve. Yeah, thank you. John Cooper. So this tune, it's a great start. I think there's some really good elements to it, but it needs beefing up a little bit. I think there's room maybe for an acid line at a point in here, perhaps even a vocal, some kind of like I don't know. It's just lacking a little bit of extra padding out at the moment. And I believe this is probably a work in progress anyway. So you're probably aware of that. So I think the structure, the arrangement is awesome. I liked the dun, 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 dun. I like the sound, the sound selection. I wanted to drop. I like to move it at the last breakdown. Yeah, it's nice when you can hear stuff in music that's playing. That's a proper DJ thing, that, or even it's a creative thing altogether. Really, if you can hear something that's not there when you're listening to music. There was a really good Lionel Richie podcast with Joe Rogan that I listened to recently, and he just did a thing where he just tapped a beat on the table, and he said if you can hear stuff around that in your mind, like when I hear a beat like that, I'm not just hearing someone tapping a table, I'm hearing like boom chicka boom 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 boom. Etc. You know, hi Sam. Whatever it is that comes into your mind, like that's a creative thing. Some people are born for each other. They love to walk holding the other one's hand. See, look, I have it for just words. Stop. Some people will just hear you banging on a table. So if you're hearing words that aren't there when you listen to other people's music, it's definitely a good sign. You're not mental. Well, you are, but it's okay. They can't capture us because we're not doing... Just keep it in here. Don't say it out loud. Shh. Fine. Okay, you need to break some kind of a law. Or... just make sure, don't break the law, but you would have to, and then they'll be like, it's a bit weird, this one. But until that point, it's just you being creative. You're just being creative. That's all it is. Or you get a creative job, okay? And then they call it artistic temperament. It's true. They do. I've been getting away with that shit for years. I'm fucking mental. No one ever knew. Because they're just like, oh, it's Amber's having a crazy cat lady phase. Oh, it's all right. She is, isn't she? Are you sure she doesn't need actual mental health help? They'll never know, will they? Fuck's sake. Yeah, just get yourself a job in the arts and no one will ever capture you. You'll be fine. Hello, C. James. Yeah, I'm an artist. You can get away with it. You can get away with wearing wellies and a dress and, and a big scarf and just call it fashion. It's fine. It's fine. You just need to harness it. That's all it is. Just don't get captured. You'll be fine. Never knew how much I needed it until I started mixing. I need everyone, babe. This is okay. I'm being kind of silly and hyperbolic, but it is true. It is true. We all feel that way, and I think a lot of our stresses and a lot of our frustrations will definitely be eased and relieved if we do something creative. It doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, I completely agree, Sam. I think it's real. I don't think I know. I know it's important. You've got to let it out. Got to come out of you somehow. But we don't want it to come out in rage. We don't want it to come out or you bottling it up, which is sometimes even worse, and beating yourself up. And, no one talks to ourselves as badly as we talk. No one talks to us as badly as we talk to ourselves. So stop doing that. Instead, find something, encourage yourself, do something creative. Yeah, sing it out, dance it out, write it out, music it out, wank it out, whatever. Just get it out. Try and harness it though, if you can. If you can do a thing with your energy where you take it from inside of you and you can translate it and express it in a way that's meaningful to other people, that's real connection there. That's such a great thing to be able to do. And so many of you have been doing that in your music. For me, I hear it. I can sense that from you. And I love you for it. I'll always have time for you. I think you're amazing. I think anyone that can do something like that is really cool. That's why I feel it so much now, as I did bottle it up, my emotions, for the first 39 years of my life. Oh my goodness. Now I allow myself to let it out. Bloody hell, do I feel it? Yeah, it will be scary at first. Just remember, your feelings can't hurt you. Your feelings can't hurt you. They might feel uncomfortable. And I know that there's sometimes this weird concept that men shouldn't cry. I don't even know if that's still a thing. I hope not. But if it is, then that's not true. You should be crying because it's like a natural thing. If you don't, then there's a problem. Have you ever met someone, right? Have you ever met anyone and they say, "Oh, I don't cry. I never cry." And have you ever thought to yourself, wow, you're awesome. I really wish my whole life was like yours. Or do you think, fucking hell, there's a problem here? Don't you think you might be drinking a bit too much? You know what I mean? It's just trying to buffer yourself away from the emotions. That's me, says Richie. Think my tear ducts have dried up. No. I mean, it depends on the person. I think for you, Richie, knowing from, having talks about you and stuff, I think your expression of your emotions can come out in different ways. As long as it's coming out, that's the main thing. Laughter is another one. But I think, Richie, if you can cry, then if you ever feel the need to do it, please, please lean into it. Go away. So I don't like people seeing me crying. I'm fucking, it's so, have you ever seen what you look like when you cry in a mirror? Oh my God, I've pissed myself. I'll be like, no, and then I've looked at myself and be like, I'm fucking gay. Look at you. Look like a right mong. Oh my God. But if you can, so I will not do it in front of anyone else. It puts me off, but I will go on my own somewhere and I will have a really good cry. And I will feel it in the pit of me and just get it out. Like as if I'm like time maneuvering someone. But you cry every stream. I don't cry every stream. You cry every stream. You cry every stream. Maybe I do. Maybe I know I cry sometimes. Sometimes my trance sets will evoke a big reaction in me because music moves me in that way. I'm not sad though. When that happens, I don't have any memories attached to it. There's no trauma. It's the movement of the music. I'm feeling that expression from the actual artist. And that's what I mean by if you can move someone like that with your music, wow, have you got a skill? It's just magical to me that you can do that. It's so cool. So cool. Yeah, I love that. I love feeling that feeling. Is Tony here? Tony, yes. You have made me cry in a good way. Yeah. So kind. Also, hello. Yay! Hello, Tony. Everyone say hello to Tony. Portishead makes me cry. There you go. Another one for me is cellos. Cellos can make me cry. Pianos. Oh my God. A piano can make me cry. Yeah. And also a very emotional singer can make me cry easily. But there's never any thought attached to those tears. It's like a release. And if you can ever get to that place, please don't don't swallow it. You know, if you can't, if you're on like a train or something, or you're in a lift or, you know, at work or whatever, obviously you're going to have to try and go somewhere to have a cry. But when you get home, try and get back into that place again and have a cry, because it's really important that when you do get those moments or that kind of that thing to get into yourself, do it. There you go. Major Farm says, if I watch a performance and cry, I feel like it's not me. It's what they wanted. You know, it's the emotion, what they wanted to touch. Yes. And let them know if you can let them know that it moved you in that way. That's amazing feedback for any artist, any choreographer, anyone like that. Art can make you feel like that. It's awesome. Yeah. So that's all really cool. All really a really cool. It's a really interesting conversation and a very needed one. I think sometimes you just need to have permission to have a fucking feeling. You know what I mean? It's okay. Also, if you are one of my friends and you were ever crying in front of me, sometimes it's like my friends have been a bit like, why aren't you making sure I'm okay? But I don't have any problem with anyone crying. I will just hold a space for you and sit with you and wait until you've stopped. I won't come up to you and go, oh, no, don't, it's okay, don't. I'll never do that. I might give you a cuddle if I felt that it was appropriate and you needed to feel, you know, secure in that moment. But usually I will just sit there and wait for you to get that feeling processed. So, yeah, I wouldn't offer you a tissue. I'd be like, it's fine. I might even join in with you if I can. Oh, run for two. Ah! No, I wouldn't do that because it would distract the person from having a cry. But yeah, I'm more than happy to facilitate that. Yay. Yay. I remember once when I was at school, not school, we were I was picking the kids up from school, and one of the other mums who'd befriended me, she like one of the normal people. And she said, I was like, oh, hiya, blah, blah, blah. Are you all right? She went, not really. I'm going through divorce. And I went, hey, awesome. And she just looked at me really weird. I was like, oh, shit. I mean, oh, yeah, awful. Like, yeah, that's terrible. Like, oh, I bet he's in proper. Oh, yeah. Ugh. But I forgot, like, a lot of people, like, aren't seeing it as being, like, the moment of clarity and, you know, self-learning, the learning thing that it can be, like a catalyst into your own journey of self-awareness. I forget sometimes that people just want you to say, oh, what did he do? Oh, you're better off without him, babes. Just you and the kids from now on. I'm like, oh, brilliant. Like, oh, this is going to be a great adventure for you. You're going to find out so much about yourself. And she's just looking at me like, oh, fuck's sake. Anyway. Next up, we've got G.W.R. and this is called A Last Caress. Here we go.
One last caress.
I got something to say. I killed your baby today.
I really like this. I just want to make a note. I love that riser. I'm as a DJ, I'm really glad that you've got that riser going over the outro, because those kinds of things are really fun to mix in and out of. So yeah, that's like a 10 out of 10 already for that. You did mention there that you fuck's sake, sorry. Yeah. Oh, for some context, Made for It Farm thought that this song was mentioned about killing babies or something, and now G.W.R, who's in the chat right now, has been saying that is it really what it says? Oh my god, what? No way! Oh, of course it does, because it's you and you got AI to say it. Okay, where? Yeah, I'll go back. Hang on. What?
I got something to say. I killed your baby today, and it doesn't matter much to me as long as it's dead. Sweet lonely dead. I'm waiting for your breath. Ooh, sweet dead. One last caress. Now here we go. Hit the beat, roll the beat, drop it. Now here we go. Hit the beat, roll the beat, drop it. Now here we go. Hit the beat, roll the beat, drop it. Now here we go. One last caress.
Mate, I love it even more now. Yeah, I'm definitely playing this at Rave Kids. Oh, yeah, I missed it first time round. I think because I've got a bit of tinnitus. I just assume that I'm hearing things, and if I did hear that, I would have just assumed that it didn't say that. So, Joyomofrobro, you can't put a link in the chat, but please email me your YouTube or whatever it is, and then I will put it in the YouTube video for you. Thank you. Yeah, it could be dead babies or it could be babies in your partner. Yeah. No, that's okay, Joyomofrobro. Just send it to me in an email. This tune is fucking awesome. Yeah. I like it even more now. Yes, like on a okay, yeah, ha 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 and everything. But the reason why this is genius is because it's that juxtaposition between the fact that it's a very upbeat major key. Okay, we're still in the minor key, but it's very happy. It's very energetic, and it's very singy-songy. La, 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 la. And I like the fact that now I know what the vocals are saying. It's really cool because it kind of like, it's like, what? Very clever. Yes. A very good use of AI. And it's only 4 minutes. Oh my God, the kids will love it. It's the whole attention span thing. Yep. Yep. Ticking all the boxes. Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like a track by The Lonely Island. That kind of thing. Yeah. So good. So good. When's it out? I need you all to have G.W.R. SoundCloud as well. Play it and make the heart hand sample. Sample. That. Dave turned it down. Why? Awesome. Which Dave turned it down? My Dave.
I killed your baby today, and it doesn't
down. Fucking hell. I'll have it if he doesn't want it. If you can't get it signed to another label, I will definitely sign that. It's fucking awesome. I love it. It's not obvious, is it? Like, it's not obviously about killing babies. I mean, we know it is now, unless we put it on the artwork. Yeah, well, if you get stuck, you know where I am, but I would recommend that you go and try some other places first. That's awesome. Yeah, the German Euro bounce techno thing. Yeah, it's fucking brilliant. I love it. I don't know what his problem is. Ooh, my muscles are hurt. Give me a... Please check the email. What email? I'm only doing this because it's you, and me and you go way back. Usually I will not listen, I will not play something until I've heard it, or it comes on the stream. So I'm going to trust you. That was the last tune. I'm going to trust you. I'm going to play it before I go. Whatever this is.
Annette and me, we set off at dawn. Sunrise paints the sky, our spirits are shown. Lines cast out, the water so clear. Laughter and stories just like a dream near. Waves crash and the bass is so deep. Feeling the rhythm, we dance and we leap. Annette's the guide, my best fishing friend. Together we chase the big one, the king of the band. Annette and me, we catch the big fish. Rhythm of the waves, we're on the rise. Heavy bass, the beat never stops. With Annette by my side, it's a trip that never tops. Of the sea, Annette's smile brighter than the sea. The day's not over, the fun's just begun. More fish to catch, more stories to run. Bass drum hits, we're in the zone. Annette and me, we are written our own. Casting lines, feeling the pull. Our bond grows stronger as we laugh and we tell. Annette's the captain, I'm the co-pilot. Through the waves we navigate with skill. The bass is heavy, the energy's high. Together we're unstoppable, come what may. Annette and me, we catch the big fish. Rhythm of the waves, we're on the rise. Heavy bass, the beat never stops. With Annette by my side, it's a trip that never tops. It's a trip that never tops.
Oh, hang on. There we are. Wow. I like this. I mean, it is AI, so I don't usually play AI tunes on the demo drop, but it is you. And I was interested to see what the hell you were sending me. But yeah, that's really cool. It's very you. It is very you, and it is a good example of how AI is getting better, and less distinguishable. There are a few things about that I could hear that were a little bit like artifacty. But yeah, it's really an interesting time to be alive. That we have got the ability now to make full tracks like that with Suno and Udio and all of these other ones. Yeah, it's a great way for people who aren't music producers to be creative, and that's exactly what we were talking about before. On that level of just doing, putting in prompts and feeding it some tracks that you like, and and having fun with it, and putting your own lyrics in there as well, and personalizing it. I think that on that level, it's very, very rewarding, and I think it can be a really good way for people to distract themselves almost, like from other stuff, and to be creative and have something that they've made there. I think that's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah, well done. And for me, it made me think, oh, I could do something with that vocal. That vocal is pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's really it's great for opening the door up for more people to be able to have fun with music in that way. But again, like I said, usually I wouldn't have anything AI on this show because I can't talk about, anything in terms of like how to help with EQ and compression, or the arrangement and things like that. I mean, yeah, there's a certain amount of prompting that you can tell it. That's not my field of expertise, but just as is this a thing that you've made, I'm proper happy for you. Yay! Awesome. Yeah, play it for me when I next come in, babe. Definitely. Awesome. Thank you. Hello, Control 4. I'm going now. I'm off to bed. Agathan Scrolls, please send me a message on a Tuesday before 4 p.m. on either Facebook or Instagram, and then and just let me know your email address and the name of the track, because obviously you would have sent me an email with the track in it, because I've got such a backlog of music now. It's just easier if you send me a message and remind me to go and look for your email, by giving me your email address and the track name, and then I'll put it on that show. Otherwise, it could be quite a while. So it's not that I've listened to it and I didn't want it or anything like that. I would never do that. I wouldn't listen to it and then just not reply to you. I wouldn't be that crass or rude. So if you send it to me, if you've emailed it to me, I've just not got round to it yet. So just remind me, and that goes to all of you. Remind me in a message on Facebook or Instagram, and ask me to specifically look for your email, and I will do. But unless you do that, it could be a long time before I get to it. So they don't have Facebook or Instagram. Oh, I remember speaking to you about this now. Are you able to ask Control 4 to do that for you, or someone else? Because I can't promise you that I will remember. I'm very ADHD. I have a system of how I do this show, because everything has to be done on the day. I will not remember otherwise. So if you can find someone who can ask me for you, yeah, then that would be awesome. But yeah, I'm sorry that that's the case. Yeah, thank you, Control 4. Thank you. Yes, Control 4 will do that, because me and him always talk. So thank you. Yeah, thank you, Joyomofrobro. Yeah, and it's great to have you back here as well. And thank you for messaging me yesterday. And I'm glad that we sorted it out. So just remember, everyone, if I haven't got back to you in your emails, it's just because I'm really, really, really busy, and there's so many emails that we get sent. I get sent. I say we. That I personally get sent to do this, and there's only so much time that I have. I really should be spending this time researching and doing this stuff, but I do feel like this is a really important show to keep going. So I've even stopped doing as many live streams right now in terms of DJing ones, which is a bit mental because it's my income, but I have to concentrate on my masters at the moment. And relax. It will be fine. Yes, we have got a great show on Thursday for you guys to look forward to. We've got DJ Pulsar now as well on Thursday, who's going to be warming up for myself and Paul Glasby. And then after we've played, General Bounce will be playing as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep now. I am so tired. I haven't got not enough hours in the day right now. So, but yeah, I'm really, really happy that we've had a bit of time together and we've had a really good chat about artificial intelligence. I'm going to go and do some more reading now before I fall asleep. And then I've got the gym in the morning, and then I've got a student in for 6 hours. Yeah. And I hope you guys have a really good week as well. And yeah, have a great night, and yeah, keep being creative.